Gotta get my caffeine. Still have a little bit of a cough here. Hi, guys. Really sorry about that. I thank goodness for Chef Dave texting me saying, what, no live chat? I was like, it's Tuesday? How is it Tuesday? I didn't even realize it was Tuesday. You know, when things go a little crazy and your schedule changes a little bit. I had all of my medium kids, my kids I'm usually actively homeschooling, slept over at a friend's house last night as a special treat. And so I was thinking, oh, I sleep in, I have nothing to do today. I didn't even think about it. Just didn't even occur to me. So when he texted me, I hadn't even showered yet. So that's why it took me a minute to get in here. So I'm glad you're all still here. That's awesome. I'm going to see who is here. Let's see. PhD Natural Me is here. Vincent is here from Very Vincent. PJB Burke says hello from Houston. Keto Fat Girl No More. Teresa is here. Wendy Works is here. Hello. Karen Rothwell is here. Can't Wait Smells Great. Robin is here. I'm so glad you're here. I'm really sorry. She's like, I've been waiting. I'm like, oh my gosh. I feel really, really bad. Really, really do. I promise you guys. I did not mean to forget you. I love you all. But, you know, I was playing with my babies. Christina McMillan is here. Maria Hemsworth. Hi. From the UK. Nice. Bridget Leiden from Chicago. Debbie Lyman. Hi. Patty Gorman. Hello. Layla Beaker. I hope I said that right. Jennifer Gibson and Laura Trent. You guys are first in line today. Way to go. Sorry my camera's wiggly. I'm trying to figure out a better way to stabilize this thing. It seems like it just doesn't like, I don't know. It's the best setup that I can come up with inside. Oh no, I'm not even in focus. Is that better? I don't know. So, oh, thank you for saying I look pretty in pink. It actually is my favorite color to wear. I don't know why. It's my color. It fits my personality. But I just laughed because I grabbed this shirt because I was just trying to find something quickly to wear. And I know the pink looks good. And I'm like, ooh, that shirt. And I realized it's gigantic. Like, it is so huge on me. I haven't worn it in a really long time. And actually, I bought this shirt the last time I lost weight. And so this was like my going to the gym kind of shirt back before I got pregnant with Ruby and Jasper. And so I thought it was really funny that I put it on, and it was really, really big. It's like one of those youth XXLs, or like the juniors XXL or something like that. So it's like a 19, or I don't know. Anyway, it's too big, and that makes me happy because it used to be super, super tight. And I remember it being super, super tight. So it's kind of fun to put on something that you haven't tried on in a while, you know, and see the progress that you've made. Especially right now, because I feel like I'm really not making any progress. And I don't know, not really caring about that right now. I don't know. I care. I do care. But it's not super top priority in my life right now. Does that make sense? Does it seem to you guys like I am washed out or something? I wonder if my lens is dirty. Do you guys care if I try and wipe it off? Hello. Yeah. There we go. It's funny, when I use my phone, I forget that sometimes, you know, when you hold it on, you get makeup on your phone. And so then when you look at the camera, you don't look as colorful. I don't know, like you're seeing through smoke. So I don't know if you guys have, speaking of smoke, I don't know if you guys have been noticing on the news, or if it's even on your news, there are some insane fires burning pretty near my house right now. Thankfully not near enough that I have to be concerned about my own safety, but just like a short drive to the south, there are some fires that are literally out of control. I mean, we usually have fires here in Utah, quite a bit of them, and it usually is pretty scary most of the time this time of year. They'll get set off by random lightning strikes or kids being dumb or whatever. But this one is like uncontrollable. We've had so many homes burn and people are evacuated. It is really, really rough. and the air quality here is usually not that great as it is, but with these fires, it's really, really bad. The smoke tends to just kind of funnel up into the valley where I am and just kind of sit here. And so even though I'm getting better from my cold, I still feel like I can't really breathe because outside is so bad. And I'm really worried for our state. It's getting out of control. I mean, I don't know. If you want to look it up, you can look up the news stories. It's the Bald Mountain, Utah fire. I think that's what they're calling it, is Bald Mountain fire. It's burning all of these areas where I used to like go camping as a kid, and man, it is tearing through. And not just the forested areas. It's tearing through populated areas, and it's really scary. And just a couple days ago, we actually had one that was very close to my house. A friend of mine actually had to be evacuated from her home. That was started by kids with fireworks. Thankfully, they were able to get that one under control within a day, and it didn't get too crazy, but there was a whole bunch of evacuations. And then there was a third one over by I-80, it's over to the west of us. And my son, he was going out on a sleepover about an hour away out to a friend's house in Tooele. If you guys know where Tooele is, some of you have been here. It's about an hour to the west of me. And my friends were driving him, and they had to shut down the freeway while they were on it, and they were trapped there for a while. They finally were able to make it through, but then they couldn't come back. And so in order to get back home that night, they had to like go clear down south along the backside of the mountains and come across that way and come back up past us. So it has been crazy around here with fires, and I feel like I can't get better from my cold, really. And poor Oliver, he's a mess. He also got this cold. He can't hardly breathe. Like he's worse off than me. Most of the little kids have been okay. A couple of them have gotten the cold, but haven't really seemed to really struggle. So that's been a blessing. And several of them didn't even get it. I think Jasper, he got a tiny little runny nose, and then he was fine. Maybe it's still going to come on soon. And Virginia didn't get it at all. Go figure. Maybe it's still coming. Pretty much it's hit everybody else. I don't know if it's hit my adult kids. Haven't talked to them. But yeah, it was a rough one. It was not just a common, easy, getting over in a couple of days cold. You guys know I've been sick for like over a week now. But be proud of me. Because I forgot it was Tuesday, I slept in. And I actually went to bed last night at 11, and I didn't get up till 9 a.m. Yeah. That's why I was still laying around in my undies when Chef Dave says, "Hey, are you doing the live chat?" And I went, "Oh, dang." Anyway, okay, so what do you guys want to talk about? I'm going to go back and see if you guys have asked me any questions, and we can just start chatting. I'll answer any questions about keto. I'll answer any questions about Dr. Finney, high protein keto, and how it differs from the common one. I've had a lot of suggestions to me and questions about certain videos from Dr. Berg lately. If you want to know my opinions on Dr. Berg, I can give you those. Probably won't like them, but I can give you my opinions, and they are opinions. Anything you want to talk about? My personal life, how I'm doing, what's going on in my life. I don't know. What's going on in your life? We can talk about whatever you want to talk. So I'm going to go back, and hopefully it won't wig out too badly when I'm scrolling through the comments. I try really hard to keep it still, but, you know, it doesn't always work. Let's see. Oh, okay. Jennifer Ness wants to know if I take a multivitamin. Yes, I do. Dr. Finney does recommend taking a multivitamin in order to make sure that you don't get low on random things like iodine, zinc, things like that. The one I take, though, it doesn't have iodine in it. I'm not super concerned about iodine. I don't know. Maybe it has iodine in it. I actually don't know what it has in it. I just like it because it's cute. And I know that's a stupid reason to take a vitamin, but when you're taking vitamins every day, a cute factor is good, I think. So the ones I take are Ritual, and I am not sponsored by them in any way, though maybe I should be. I don't know. I talk about it a lot, but they're super cute little vitamins that are like see-through. They have vitamin D3, basic B vitamins, and boron, vitamin K. I'm trying to think of all the things it has in it. But basically, the basics of what women need are in these vitamins. It's for women only. It's not for men. You can find them at ritual.com. It's a monthly subscription. It costs me $30 a month for a month's supply, which is pretty dang cheap for a multivitamin. And they taste like peppermint. So they're cute and they taste good. You know, I don't chew them, but as you swallow them. Anyway. So yeah, I take one. I don't know that I mostly take it for the D3. Because D3 is, if you're low on D3, you can lose hair more, and you know, if you're on a weight loss journey, that you tend to lose hair anyway. So I like to keep my D3 up, and a lot of people are low on it, and so it's just probably best to take some if you can. But I'm not a doctor or anything. That's just what I do. It's not necessarily recommended by anyone, though Dr. Finney did suggest to take one when we asked him on the live chat about iodine, because he does do a live chat as well on his blog, vertahealth.com, on his Facebook page. I think he occasionally does one, or some members of his team. Tara Stevens from New Zealand. Or is that Tiara? Tiara? I like that name. That's cute. New Zealand. Oh, what a beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place. I'd love to go there sometime. Thank you for the compliments. All right. Let's see. Oh, the baby. Yeah, he was crying. Sorry. The only kids home right now, I should just bring them in here, but the only kids home right now are my 5-year-old, my 2-year-old, and my 16-year-old. I told the 16-year-old to take care of him. Obviously, that may or may not be happening. I hope that he's handled it. Usually with Jasper, the 2-year-old, you know, he gets worked up and then he moves on. He's probably fine. I made sure he was fed and everything before. Yeah. Oh, Vincent, you're sick too? I'm so sorry. It's yuck, yuck, yuck. No fun. Okay, good question. How do I feel about zero carb, the carnivore diet? I don't really have any strong feelings for or against it. There are some things I love about it, and there are some things that I just go, I don't know. The thing I love about it is that it's a higher protein keto. I definitely support Dr. Finney in his recommendation of 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body mass. And that is what our my Keto Chaos macros are based on, those numbers, for average. So if you knew your own lean body mass, it might be less protein. But I like that the carnivore diet is a higher protein keto. But the other thing I don't really care for is that I just don't really feel like zero carb is that important. If you're under 20 carbs, you're in ketosis. Keeping it 0 or as low as possible, some people say there's benefit to it, but I don't know that there's any proof that it's any better for you than eating, you know, say what Dr. Berg recommends, the 7 cups of veggies. I don't really think there's a benefit either way. I feel like you should be able to eat your 20 carbs if you want to, especially if you're eating them with veggies, and then you don't need as much of a multivitamin because you're getting those micronutrients from a lot of those veggies. But if you're taking a multivitamin, you don't necessarily need the micronutrients, especially if you are going full carnivore and eating nose to tail and eating the organ meats and all of those things, then you really don't need a multivitamin. So I guess that's kind of how I feel about it. It's just another keto. It's not really anything that's going to be better or worse than what I'm doing, or better or worse than what most people are doing. It may be lower in fat. I don't know exactly all the details of it. But if you're having a higher protein, moderate fat version of keto, you're going to lose weight faster. So if that's what it is, then that might be beneficial. But you might as well just do what we're doing and eat the higher protein, keep the fats lower, and eat your 20 carbs of veggies. Because why not? I mean, life is boring without veggies. You need a little. I mean, I don't eat a lot, and I've been criticized for that. A lot, actually. I only eat 1 to 2 cups of veggies a day, and I'm perfectly content at that number. I don't feel like I need any more than that. But a lot of people think that you need to do what Dr. Berg suggests and do the 7 cups. That's insanity to me. There's no way I'm eating 7 cups of veggies. It's not happening. And there's not necessarily benefit enough for that. And then I wouldn't be able to get any carbs any other way, which, you know, I love my yogurt, and he also is against yogurt, so there's so many things that Dr. Berg and I disagree on. Might as well not go there unless you really want to. Okay, let's move on. Have I tried intermittent fasting? Yes. I do intermittent fasting almost every single day, but I don't do it for the benefits that most people do it for. I just do it for convenience sake. It's just easier for me to have two big meals a day and not have to worry about food the rest of the time. Though on these, I've been doing a higher, well, let's see, what am I saying? I've been keeping my calories higher, and so I've been adding a third meal between. So technically, I don't know that I'm really doing it because I'm not keeping it in that beautiful little 8-hour window, and I am eating a third meal. So I guess technically now I'm not as doing it as much. Obviously, I'm not losing as much because I'm eating more food. So that's just how it is. It's calories in, calories out. The beauty of intermittent fasting is that it keeps your calories pretty low. It keeps your calories lower, and it keeps you, you know, your body digesting in that little window. But the best thing to do is to keep your meals 3 to 4 hours apart. So that stimulates, okay, it's hard to explain. I have a whole video on this, muscle protein synthesis, but basically what happens is when you eat protein, 30 grams of protein, your body stimulates the muscle protein building sequence, okay? But it takes a certain amount of time for it to come back down to 0. If you eat in that when it's still coming back down, not only that, not only can you disrupt it and may it not work very well because your body is concentrating on digestion, it also basically is wasting your protein because it doesn't stimulate it again. So if you can keep your meals 3 to 4 hours apart, that's more important to me than intermittent fasting, because the benefits of intermittent fasting is that your body has time to heal itself during that break, which is true. But if you keep your meals spaced 3 hours or 4 hours apart and keep them at least 30 grams of protein each, you're going to get similar benefit. Does that make sense? So if you do both, it's the best of both worlds. So that's what I did for a really long time. I'm not doing it right now because right now I am just doing what I want to do. But that's what I did when I was losing all the weight. So yes, I do it, but not for the same reasons. I just do it for convenience sake. All right. Hey, Keto Cricket is here. And Donna Hatch. Welcome, you guys. And Sunshine Cleveland. Hey, Seema Ruby. How am I doing with the water weight? Okay. If you missed my weigh-in on Sunday, I weighed at 198.5, so the water weight is going back down, thankfully. And today I was 198.3, so I'm still sitting there. I think I may have actually put on 4 pounds of fat, eating the higher calories. I don't know. Maybe this is, I've lost all the water and I'm not going to get back to that 194 unless I really start cutting the calories again. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. We'll see. But the water weight has gone down at least significantly. There was 12-pound loss last week, which, I don't know. It was kind of crazy. I guess I have had that before, but every time it happens, it's just so weird. All right. Let's see. Want to be better? Heather is here. Hello. Yes, everything is well in Ketopia. That is fantastic. What a great word. Ketopia. I'm going to keep that. All right. Oh, Teresa says she's having trouble with fibromyalgia symptoms and she's just really, really tired. I don't have a lot of experience with that because I don't know anybody that's got fibro and is also keto. I mean, obviously, being an anti-inflammatory, the best as possible is your best bet. You're going to want to avoid anti-inflammatory foods like nuts and even dairy if you're really hurting, because dairy can also be inflammatory. But nuts are the big one. And any kind of, like nut products. So you wouldn't want to have any kind of almond flours or things like that. I know you don't eat a lot of that stuff anyway, so I don't know. Dang. I wish I had some advice about that. But I do not know much more about that other than trying to keep things as anti-inflammatory as possible. Let's see. What do I think about carb cycling? I'm having a hard time staying on plan around my cycle, so it's looking like might be a good idea to put carbs in during your cycle and then kind of transfer back out monthly. How do I feel? Well, I feel like it's not the best choice, but the main reason is because every time you're reintroducing carbs back into your diet, you're not getting rid of the desire to have them. Also, if you know that you're coming up on a carb refeed every 4 weeks, all you're going to think about for 3 weeks is what carbs you're going to eat, and then you're going to go hog wild and eat a lot of them. Take this from experience. I tried a diet once where I could eat only carbs in 1 hour of the day. It was called the Carbohydrate Addicts Diet, and it was on the right track. The problem is that all I thought about was carbs all day long, and I ate everything I could get my hands on during that hour. You know, ice cream, cake, cookies, candy, you name it. I didn't really eat food. I just ate crap for a whole hour and stuffed myself silly. That was not healthy for my binge eating problems, and that was definitely not helping me lose weight. I did lose some because when you don't eat carbs, you know, I mean, you can only fit so many carbs in your body during that hour. But I could fit a lot. I could fit a lot. So I feel like, especially if you're going to do it monthly, that would just be, it's not going to help. If you're having trouble when you're having your cycle, that's when you need to raise your fats. So if you're doing the lower fat keto like I do during those 3 weeks, then on the week of your cycle, if you're really losing it, you can take some heavy whipping cream and mix it with some cream cheese and add in some stevia or some sugar-free Jell-O or some cocoa powder and some stevia and make yourself a delicious, high-fat, very satisfying keto treat that is totally safe to eat and isn't going to take you out of ketosis. Every time you get kicked out of ketosis, it's really difficult to get back in, and then you have to get back in, and you're having the problems of getting back in all over again. So you'll have this week where you eat the carbs, and then you'll have the week where you feel miserable and you're starving and you are trying to cut the carbs again and you're like craving them, and then you have 2 weeks of ketosis and then you start it all over again. That sounds like pure and utter misery to me. Honestly, yes, it can be difficult to stay on keto during stressful times and times where your hormones are going crazy, and at those times, those are the times where I go hog wild on my fats. So I try and keep my fats low as much as I can. And when I say low, I don't mean like, you know, uber low fat diet. We're talking like no fewer than 50, but most of the time it's around 80 grams of fat per day. So when I'm saying I go hog wild on fat, we're talking like upwards of 100, 150, whatever fat. And like I have my keto cakes. Those are little fat bombs. They've got like 35 grams of fat in them. Obviously, those aren't good to eat every single day if I want to lose fat. But if I'm having trouble and I'm stressed out, those are safer to eat with only 3 net carbs than going out and getting a real cupcake. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really a carb refeed supporter. I know that if you're hitting a plateau and sometimes you have a big, huge carb day, it can really hit the water weight and it'll come back off and get you going again. The problem is that for most people who are food addicts, and if you have had extreme obesity, you're a food addict. I mean, just face it. Face it. If for a food addict to consume the thing they are addicted to, and then think that they're just going to go back on plan, that's just crazy sauce right there. It's not going to happen. And one cheat day is going to turn into 2, and 2 is going to turn into a week, and then you're way off the rails, and you're 20 pounds up, 30 pounds up before you finally go, I have to stop this. And do we really want to go through that yo-yo again? No. Honestly, I'm keto for life, and that means no more carbs, and that's just the way it's got to be. It doesn't matter if I hit a plateau. It doesn't matter because I'm doing this in order to keep myself away from my addiction. And I have an addiction to sugar. And so I can't have sugar, but I can have food. And that's the beauty of keto is that, it used to be like if you were a food addict, it was like, well, I still have to eat, and so I can never be cured. Well, that's not true because it's not necessarily that you were a food addict. It's probably that you were just a sugar addict, carbohydrate addict. And when you take those out of your diet, you can eat lots of delicious, yummy food and still stay away from the things you are addicted to. So that's how I feel about that. I hope that's okay. I mean, you can do what you want. Anyone can do what they want, but I'm just saying for me, it's not gonna work. All right. Hey, Wendy Hughes, my soul sister. She and I have a lot in common. Okay. That is a good question, Vincent, because I get in that situation a lot. Okay, so he wants to know, what's your advice for someone who starts to run low on food at the end of the month and has no extra money? Prayer. Okay, I joke. All joking aside, it's actually true. So this happens to me constantly, and I will give you, this is a spiritual answer, Vincent, and I know you're a spiritual person, so I hope you can understand. If I pay my 10% tithes every time I get my paycheck before I buy anything else, I go online and I donate to my religious organization. You can donate to whomever. If you donate that money, you will always have enough. And I have had this miracles worked in my life weekly, monthly, ever since I started doing it. And there was a time where I refused to do it and I didn't believe in it. And the Lord humbled me pretty dang good. And we were in a really bad financial situation. But every single time now that I pay it, I always have what I need. So, for example, this last week, we were out of money and there was literally nothing to feed me and my 9 children in the fridge. And even Chef Dave was like, well, let's just write a bad check. Let's just go and use and pay the overdraft fee and get what we need to eat. And I said, no, you know what? Let's pray about it. Let's wait till tomorrow and see how we're doing. I had $30 that had belonged. I was like it was the money that my mother-in-law gave me for my trip to Alabama. I had $30 left. And I said, let's just take this $30 and we'll go buy something to get us through today. And then tomorrow we'll see what happens. So that's what we did. We went to the store, spent the $30, and then the very next day, I was stressing out because it's my Thursday, and I'm out of the house from 8:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. Well, 9:30 a.m. until 10 p.m. So about 12 hours. And I had enough food that we were able to buy for lunch, but I didn't have anything for dinner. Usually I spend 50 or 60 or more on dinner for my kids because we usually have to eat at 3 different restaurants or whatever because got the keto ones and the not keto ones and the allergic ones and the not allergic ones. And anyway, my husband called me up while I was at my Commonwealth school around 11:30, and he's like, how much money do you need for dinner? And I said, I need probably about $50, $60 if I'm going to buy it. We were planning on just coming home at like 10 p.m. and making dinner then. And he just shows up and he hands me cash. And I say, where did you get this money? And he's like, I don't know. It was a thing at work that I'd forgotten about. It was a reimbursement that I didn't know what was coming, and it came today. And I'm just like, all right, okay, cool, thanks. So we had money to get through to buy that dinner, even though we could have been fine eating at 10 o'clock, but we would have had a lot of miserable kids whining and complaining at the dance studio. Every time it works, every time. And then his mom called and said she wanted to help us out with food and could she give us some cash. I mean, all these things just kept happening because we prayed, we had faith, and we paid our tithing. So that's my advice. But I will tell you some of the cheaper things that you can buy. Okay, so tuna fish can save your life. You should always have a really great supply of canned tuna fish because even if you're starving, tuna fish isn't so bad. And there's lots of things you can do with it. And one of the fun things you can do with it is to like, how do you explain it? Put it with egg and, I can't remember how you do it, but you make like a fish cake. You guys know how to do that, right? With like egg and stuff in it. Anyway, you can make little fried cakes with egg and cheese. You can make, obviously, just little wraps with lettuce. If you have any lettuce on hand, you can dip celery in it. There's lots of great things. Plus, my kids really like it, and so it's a super cheap option that I like to keep in the cupboard all the time. Chicken is the cheapest. Chicken, you can usually find it really, really cheap. And I usually have a lot of it on hand so that when we get low on cash, at least we have some frozen chicken in the fridge. We watch for really good deals. Sometimes we can get it for $1 a pound. So because we have so many people, we're always looking for deals like that where we can buy. So when he gets paid, we try and find a good deal on a big, huge thing of meat as much as we can so that even if we run out of everything else, we still got our backyard chickens and we got meat. So I hope that helps. I don't know. I mean, maybe it doesn't, but yeah. Anyway. It's kind of a weird answer. I feel weird. I'm like, this lady is messaging me too. I'm sorry, Lori. You probably don't know I'm on live chat. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Dr. Berg apparently recommends 7 to 10 cups. It's literally unnecessary. It is literally unnecessary to do that. There's no reason to do that. Your electrolytes will keep your digestion in balance. If you're taking a multivitamin, you're fine. You don't need those extra micronutrients from the veggies. The real thing is it just seems like he's trying to bulk you up with veggies to keep your calories lower and if it make you have more satiation. And I think that's completely crazy. Eat more protein, less fat. The protein is good for your muscles. You need that more importantly than micro greens or whatever. Anyway, I just don't understand a lot of the things he says. And it irritates me that he's like, don't eat yogurt. And I'm like, anyway. Okay. Yeah, don't starve yourself. Don't starve yourself. Just do the best that you can. That's why I say try and buy it in bulk as much as you can so that you have a lot in the freezer. Oh, another good tip. We go and we buy, so we go to this place called Cash and Carry. It is a restaurant supply store. So first of all, check and see if you have one near you or if you can find something similar. It's kind of like Costco, only smaller, and it's not, this one, Cash and Carry, doesn't require a membership fee. So anyone can go in there, but it's a restaurant supply store. So you can get huge, giant roasts, like huge roasts for $2 to $3 a pound, you know, for like top sirloin or top round, stuff like that. And so we'll go and we'll buy a giant roast and then we come home and we cut it into steaks. I say we, but I really mean Dave. You know it's all Dave. He cuts it into steaks and freezes them for me. So there's always steak and chicken in the fridge. I mean, we have me and Dave and Oliver who are all keto, so we have to make sure that we have protein. And honestly, like, I love my kids, but I have realized that if I don't take care of myself first, then I have nothing left to give my kids. If I'm starving to death, I'm just going to be yelling at them. So as much as I love them, they can eat chicken too. And so we try and keep the meats on hand more than the other things that the kids may like to eat, in order to make sure that everyone is fed and everyone is happy. And the kids are happier on a protein diet anyway. On the days I can get Ruby to eat a chicken leg before we walk out of the house instead of eating a bowl of cereal, I'll tell you what, she's not hungry for hours. And that is beneficial to me because when we're out, then we've got kids whining that cost me money at the gas station or the fast food place that I didn't really want to spend. So try and look to buy big, huge bulk. I know you have a tiny family, so if you went and bought a giant roast and paid $50 for it at the Cash and Carry, came home, that would feed you guys for a long time. So try and think ahead when you get paid. Use that money as wisely as you can so that you can stretch it out. So even if you don't have veggies, you can always cook up a steak. All right. Seema Ruby says, I believe calories matter. I'm on keto almost 3 years, eating at maintenance. It may keep you in ketosis, but won't allow you to lose weight. Yeah, that is really true. And that's awesome. Because you don't want to keep losing weight when you're done losing weight. When you want, and like me right now, I want to take a break. I want my body to get used to where I am right now. I want other people to get used to where I am right now. And so I'm taking kind of a diet break. And so I'm eating my maintenance calories now so that I can just have a break. So I hate disappointing you guys every time I step on the scale and the scale hasn't gone down. And I am going to keep weighing myself because I want you guys to see, you know, that if you eat too many calories, you don't lose. And that's really true. It's definitely true. All right. Hi, Baby Thug from France. I'm glad you're learning English. Cute. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So magnesium malate says it's good for fibro and fatigue. I knew that the malate was good for energy, so that makes sense. I know some people who do glycinate at night to help them sleep and malate in the morning to give them energy. I haven't tried that. I probably should try that, actually. But I have not tried that myself. I usually do glycinate all day just because that's what I've got on hand. Can't afford to have a million on hand. Let's see. I am in America. Welcome, fam bam. Okay. Okay, so Yvette says that the lack of cravings is why you're toying with the carnivore zero carb option. Yeah, if you're having trouble with cravings still, the more you stay away from things that resemble what you're craving, the better. So even me, so like, for example, I've been really stressed out and I've been dying to eat spicy pork rinds dipped in cream cheese. And I'm still thinking about that constantly, which means I am not eating it because I don't want to risk that being a slippery slope item for me. I used to be addicted to Dynamitas, Dorito Dynamitas. I think that's what they're called. Super spicy corn tortilla chips that I would dip in cream cheese. And so I feel like it's too close to a thing that I would have eaten that I'm craving, and so I'm avoiding that craving. If you guys are having cravings, you should not supply them with keto options. If you are craving ice cream, you should not go out and get some Halo Top. If you are craving brownies, you should not make some almond flour whatevers. If you're not craving them and you're just wanting to add variety to your diet, you can make those things and eat them. But as soon as you start thinking about them outside of a meal and start wanting them, then you know that you need to cut back. So yes, with a carnivore diet, you're not going to be eating any of those things. You literally don't eat anything that didn't come from an animal, I'm pretty sure. I don't know all the rules, but so you can't even eat sweeteners and things. So I think that that's probably a benefit. Though you can still do that and eat veggies, because veggies for me don't cause cravings. But you know what? People have had success with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So, yeah, anyway. Yeah, and keto treats. I mean, there's so many. Go to Keto Connect. They have a million. Like, literally a million. Also, Ginger, what's her Keto in the UK? I think that's the name of her channel. She does tons of recipes all the time. She doesn't actually eat them herself, just so you know. She has all these really okay, I shouldn't say disgusting. Very delicious, tempting treat recipes that I don't dare to try because, you know, I don't want to risk getting addicted to that stuff. But I do have my keto cakes occasionally from the place that makes them for me, and it's probably more I'm lazy than anything. All right. Let's see. Yeah, if you eat 130 grams of fat, you're going to be like stuffed and feel very much better. Yeah. Dude, I answered your message. No, I didn't see it before. Duh. Okay. Mug cake. I haven't tried that one yet. Okay. Hi, Deborah from Wisconsin. All right, let's see. Mama 4X, don't worry about being late because I was late getting started. We're still going to go for another, 20 minutes or so probably. So, welcome. You're okay. I was an hour late today. So, okay, here's a good one. Bridget Leiden says, keto seems harder for me as being dairy intolerant. Any suggestions? Okay, my first suggestion is make sure you're doing the higher protein, lower fat keto and not the high fat, low carb. Just because it is really difficult to find that higher fats without dairy products, and because the higher protein will keep you more satisfied. So get your fats from your meats as much as you can, and you got to make sure you track it. So you won't be like me and eating lots of chicken breast. I eat lots of chicken breast so that I can have cheese and cream sauces and things like that make me feel like I'm eating a more decadent meal. You're going to probably want to stick to a higher fat. You're going to want to have the dark meat chicken. You're going to want to do more legs and thighs and wings. You're going to want to have higher fat cuts of beef. Bacon, and you may not want to use the bacon that I use, which is 50-50 protein and fat. You might want a higher fat version of it. But you don't need to go too crazy on the fat. 80 grams of fat is sufficient for weight loss, 80 or less. So you don't need huge amounts of fat sources if you're getting a lot from your meat. Another great source of non-dairy fat is coconut. Coconut milk, actual dry, actual cut coconut, things like that. Actually, I have a really good friend who's allergic to dairy who does keto, and she does quite well. She has just found a lot of options, olive oil, and just using different fat sources as she's cooking. And then you don't need to have as much of the cheese and the whipping cream and things like that. So that's my advice to you. Eat yummy, decadent meats and track them. Make sure you're not going too crazy on the fat. But you should still be able to do it just fine without dairy products. It's definitely doable. A lot of people do it because dairy products can be inflammatory for a lot of people. I did try it for a week and failed miserably. I think that was just because I didn't have the things on hand that I needed in order to feel satisfied and, feel like I wasn't depriving myself. So I think if I was eating ribeye steak and higher fat bacon and maybe sausage, I probably would have been happier that week, but I didn't have those things on hand when I decided to try dairy free, and I had no money, so I couldn't get anything. And so, yeah, that was actually the downfall week when I got fired from ketogenic dieters because I used a fat bomb made out of coconut oil and what else? Cocoa or something ridiculous, just try and get my fats in so that I could be the fat level that they recommended. But because I called it a fat bomb, apparently it wigged somebody's brain out and they couldn't deal, and I ended up getting fired. Well, at least that was the straw that broke the camel's back, with them kicking me out of the group, which is just pure stupidity, since they're the ones who told me to do dairy-free to begin with, and I wasn't prepared for it, and they basically browbeated me into doing it because they said that was my problem with the stupid water weight. We all know it's not that. It's just me. We now know this, but back then we did not know, and so we learned the hard way that people suck. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but yeah. Anyway, let's see. Oh yes, canned chicken too. I forgot about canned chicken. You can do chicken salad and all kinds of really good things, and you can make chicken crust pizzas and all kinds of canned chicken. I just always forget to buy that. I should have that on hand too, because that can save you in a pinch, because if you put a bunch in your cupboard on payday and you just kind of aren't in the mood for it, by the time you're getting to the ends of the ends, it might look a lot better to you. And kids will eat it too. Oh, my teeth are yellow. That would be because I'm 43, Louis. Whatever your name is. Don't really care. Okay. Eggs. Oh, yes, eggs. Eggs are cheap. And, of course, I have backyard chickens, which are not cheap, just so you know. If you think you're going to save money by getting chickens and having chicken eggs from the backyard, don't do it. It's not cheaper. It's way more money, just so you know. Let's see. Good question. Am I able to get food subsidies or WIC with my large family? No, well, maybe. But we don't believe in using those government sources. We believe in being self-sufficient. If I were to need help, I actually would turn to my church, because we actually have a whole setup to help people who are in need. And we have actually used that. There was a time where we were really stressed out, and in fact, it was that time I was talking about where the Lord was giving me a humbling and things were really, really bad. So we went to the bishop and we asked for help, and we were able to get free food, and we have our own storehouse. It's called the Bishop Storehouse, and the bishop gives you a paper and you say what you need on it, and they sign off on it, and then you're able to go and shop there. And they're so kind and loving and sweet over there, and it never feels like a handout. It feels like a gift. And if we needed help sincerely, we would go to them. I don't think you have to be a member to get help from the church. You just need to find out which area that your ward boundaries are and see if you can get help that way. It's worth a try. LDS Church is pretty generous. I don't know exactly what they require in order to get that, but if you called the bishop and asked, you just never know. You just never know. So yeah, we don't really use WIC. I did use it a long time ago. When we first had our first baby, we actually used the government insurance because we didn't have any. It was Baby Your Baby at that time, and we did WIC. But I just felt like when I would go to the WIC appointments, I felt subhuman. I never felt like people treated me like I was a smart person that knew what I was doing. I felt like I was treated like an idiot. And my kids were always judged on whether or not they were healthy enough, and they always are taking their iron and poking their damn finger. Oh, poking their dang fingers. And I hated that place. So don't really, even if I was starving, I probably wouldn't go back there. We'd find something out. Plus, we have our family. My mother-in-law always just knows right when we need help. I just don't know how she knows, but she does, and she's always helping us. We couldn't survive without my mother-in-law. She pays my gas bill, my driving car gas bill, and that's about $800 a month, sometimes more, for how much driving we do to get to dance classes, because we have dance every day, and our dance studios are 30 minutes away from our house. So there you go. I got loving family too to help us out. Okay. I don't really have a good vitamin D3 supplement brand to suggest because, like I said, I use the multivitamin to get mine. I don't know. I mean, I've heard that the drops are better than the actual, like, vitamin D3 pills, but I don't have any experience with that, so I'm not sure. And your water weight can change all the time, Vincent. So 3 pounds up, that's like, it happens. It happens. Oh my gosh, some of these people are so hilarious. Oh, Gloria, I wish you could find the bacon. The actual bacon that I use is a Utah brand. It's actually not even an America, U.S. brand, and I don't even know how available it is outside of my state. We live, like, really close to the factory, and I think that's why we're able. And it's funny because the bacon varies every time we go in price, and I think that's because it varies in price from the store that they get it from the actual factory. And so, like, this month it was $18, and I was like, dang it, we need like $18 for 5 pounds of bacon. That's how I afford to eat bacon every day. Normally it's about $23 for 5 pounds, which is still a really good deal. And the yogurt, you might be able to find, look for Icelandic Skyr, S-K-Y-R. You might be able to find that there. It's very comparable to the Greek yogurts. Hey, Marjorie, I'm glad you made it. And Brandy Cronin, good to see you guys. Glad you're here. Oh, man, we have a Trump guy again. Aw, it wouldn't be the same without a Trump guy. You know what is so funny about the Trump guys? They're never American. Like, they don't actually reside in the United States. It cracks me up every time. Okay. Do I use a site to analyze recipes for nutrition values? No, not necessarily. I don't do a lot of recipes. Most of them we kind of make up on our own. And what I do is I input them in each item into a recipe in Chronometer, and then divide it by the amount of servings, and then I weigh the entire recipe when I'm done so that I know each serving how much it should weigh. And then I'll weigh out that amount. Does that make sense? So that's really what I do. So if you find a recipe that you want to do online and it doesn't have that macros, you can try building it in Chronometer, like virtually, before you make it and see what it looks like macro-wise. Also, you can cut the fat in a lot of those keto recipes by not adding extra butter, by substituting the lower fat cheeses. You know, a lot of times they're adding a lot of extra fat that's not necessary to have that recipe taste good. So if you're trying to change a keto recipe into more of a moderate fat keto version, it's fairly easy to do because most of them are like adding in extra fat that's not necessary. So just omit that extra fat. Oh, yes. Cabbage is a good one, too, for cheap. Oh, soda's not doing well with soda. Definitely herbal tea. Herbal tea. I love to put a little herbal tea with half and half or even a heavy whipping cream if I'm in the mood for a little bit more thickening. I also drink Cryo Brew, but it's kind of pricey. It's about $10 a bag. You can find it on Amazon or on CryoBrew.com. That's spelled C-R-I-O-B-R-U. And it's roasted cocoa beans, so it's almost like having hot chocolate. It's getting to be fall, and you will see me on my What to Eat Wednesdays. You'll see me drinking a lot more Cryo Brew as the weather becomes colder. All right. Thanks, Mama, 4 times. I love ya. Yeah. Oh, and buy drinks aren't good. They have erythritol in them. A Crystal Light. What else? I mean, there's got to be a lot of things. I drink mostly Coke. And, of course, Bang. But if the soda's bothering you, yeah, that makes it harder. But yeah, the Mio, it's great. There's lots of different Mios, which is yummy too. Let's see. Okay. Rude frigger. Is that a swear word, frigger? I kind of think it is. I shouldn't say that probably. All right. Oh man, don't tell me about the factories. That'll make me nervous. Hey, Alexandra Khan, how good to see you. Thank you. Sparkling ice is good, but it's also carbonated, so if he's having trouble with carbonation, it probably won't help. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Hey, Elizabeth. I didn't mean to knock on Trump or anything, and it's just that they come on my chat and just say, Trump is Jesus, and random things like that, and almost every single time they're not from here. It just makes me laugh. I think it's so funny. I think that does Trump pay people from other countries to go on YouTube live chats and just say his name randomly? I doubt it. But it starts to feel that way. All right. Oh, I see. Yeah, can't wait smells. Robin. I'm just going to call you Robin. It's a long name. Yes, Robin, you can just, that's how I do it. I just put it in Chronometer to get the information for the recipe, if I'm going to do that. I've never done like a recipe video where I've told people the macros, though. I don't know that that's necessary, but I don't know. I mean, other people don't do, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right. You steep it in a tea ball for Creo Brew. That is a good idea. Yeah, they recommend a French press for the Creo Brew. I just use the coffee maker because I'm lazy, and I swear it tastes the same. But, yeah. Marjorie says she loves the way I deal with the distractions. Hey, I have 9 kids. I'm used to distractions, right? Oh, Blind Views. Hi. Hello. All right, that's everything. Woo, look at me rolling through the comments. Sometimes I feel like I get so far behind. Just so you guys know, if I miss your question and you really want me to see it, there's always that super chat option right there if you have a buck or two to share. I don't know if I get any money of that because I actually don't know how that works, but it will at least pop your comment up to the top so I can't miss it, which is really, really helpful as we get to be where we have so many people. Like last week, I couldn't keep up last week. It was the first time that I could not keep up. And I was really like, whoa, I am so far behind. As I'm scrolling through the comments, I realized people have had whole conversations already that I missed, and I hate that. But it is the way it is. And I know, like, with Keto Connect, they never see your question. You can post it, like, 20 times, and they never see you because they have so many people. And so super chat option is really nice. You can give them a donation, and then they'll actually see your question, and they'll probably respond to it because you paid them money, I guess. So, any other questions? Blind Views, you just got here. What do you want to chat about? Anything? Anything? I'm going to take a drink. Oh, man, that tastes so good. Cotton candy's the best. I've tried them all, and cotton candy is still the best. I just love it. Okay. Did I ever get dizzy when I started keto? Yep, and I still do sometimes. And it's always, always, always because my sodium is low. So how much sodium are you taking, Tanya? Do you know how much sodium you're taking? If you don't, that is guaranteed to be your issue. You should have 5,000 milligrams minimum of sodium per day. My happy place is 8,000 milligrams. That is addition to what I eat in my food. I don't count any salting of foods or cooking with spices or even necessarily like the salt in my bacon. So it probably ends up being more like 10,000 or 11,000 milligrams of sodium. And I don't supplement my potassium. I tried doing that, and it caused me to have heart palpitations and chest pain. And it took me a long time to figure out what was the cause. So I have this huge box of Zip Fizz that I cannot eat. And I don't know if it's the potassium in it or if there's another ingredient that bothers me, but I can't drink it. So that sucks. Zip Fizz is a good drink option, though, Vincent, if you're looking for something. It's got like 900 milligrams or something of potassium in it and 200 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, so and it's not the caffeine. You know how I know it's not the caffeine? Because of this drink. So Marjorie asked, what am I drinking? It is Bang. There are 300 milligrams of caffeine in this little bugger. And I can drink this whole thing and feel no weird side effects. Whereas if I drink Zip Fizz, I get the heart pains and I feel like my lips are buzzing. If I get the same thing when I drink Rockstar, which is way fewer milligrams of caffeine. So I don't think it's the caffeine that's bugging me. I need to compare all the drinks that bother me and figure out which ones, what they have that's the same. So, yeah. See, and Keto Cricket says sodium doesn't help, but she needs a lots of supplement of Pitocin. No, that would be a birth chat. This is not a birth chat. Potassium. So that's the key right there, though. I do need to talk about that. Electrolytes are a balance, and sodium and potassium keep each other in balance. If you're doing the really high sodium, your potassium levels should be just from food and should be between 1,000 and 3,500 milligrams. If you're doing the opposite and your potassium is really high, like 4,500 milligrams, then your sodium should be from food and be about the same 1,000 to 3,500 milligrams of sodium. You can't really supplement both and have it balance out. And the reason that works is because when your body flushes your electrolytes, it flushes potassium first because it feels like it needs the sodium more. So if you keep your sodium levels high, it won't flush your potassium. But if you have your potassium levels are plenty high, it's the opposite that's true. You have plenty of potassium regardless of whether or not your body is flushing it. You have enough to keep yourself going. The problem with potassium is that it's easily overdone. And you can actually kill yourself, and it can actually stop your heart. That's why it makes me nervous when I drink a Zip Fizz and it makes my heart hurt. I get a little concerned. So for me, it's just not working. But I know a lot of people can't do the sodium for various reasons. It causes them to have extreme edema, or it causes high blood pressure, and it just cannot work for them. It is best to keep your sodium lower and raise your potassium, but track it. If you're doing the higher potassium, you can't mess around. You have to track it. With the sodium, you can be, you can get away with it. You'll feel crappy and you take more if you really want to do it that way. Potassium, you don't want to mess with that. You don't want to risk getting too much. So there's that. And that is another thing that Dr. Berg and I differ on. And yeah, he sells his fancy schmancy little powder crap when you can just buy potassium citrate powder and make your own. And I don't know. It bothers me when people try and capitalize on it, on keto information. And plus, some of the stuff he says is just plain not true. Anyway, I know a lot of you guys follow him, and I love that he helps a lot of people, and he has a lot of great information. I'm not saying that everything he says is bunk, but there are so many things that bother me that I just can't even wrap my brain around liking that guy. Just can't. Watch Dr. Ken Berry if you got to watch somebody on YouTube. He's fantastic. Dr. Finney does have some videos on YouTube, but they are confusing because he is not good at explaining his information. He talks up here with a lot of scientific stuff. He keeps talking about the perfect ratio of fat and protein and carbs, but he doesn't explain well how your body will get some of that fat from your fat stores if you are in fat loss mode. He explains it in his books. He explains it in his blogs. But when he does his teaching chat things that he does sometimes on YouTube, people miss that. And they come back and they say, no, Dr. Finney says blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, actually, he does say that, but he doesn't clarify. What he means is if you're in fat loss mode, most of your fat will come from your body fat until you reach your goal weight, and then you're going to ingest it. The more you ingest, the less your body will burn. It's science. So, anyway, here I go on my Dr. Berg thing. I don't know why I'm on, I do know why I'm on a Dr. Berg crusade today. Because someone came on and told me that Dr. Berg says, like, if someone was forcing you, you still wouldn't eat yogurt. Why? Explain that to me. Literally, I feel like crap if I don't eat yogurt. I tried not eating it, and I need it. But, it's my body, and my body apparently needs it. So, yeah. Karen, yeah, that's what I was doing, putting Soleil water with the Zip Fizz and drinking it. That's exactly what I was doing, because Zip Fizz tastes like crap without the Soleil water. But it was really bothering me. I don't know. Where do I find Bang? So far, I have found it at Chevron, GNC, and this week, not kidding, Walmart. Yep, Walmart started selling it, which means it's probably going to become available to everybody, which is awesome. I do not drink this, by the way, for the fancy smancy creatine, ultra CoQ10, BCAA aminos. I have no idea what any of those are. I know that there's some proteins in there, but I doubt they're doing anything special for me. I drink this purely for the flavor, because it tastes like awesome, and the caffeine, because I don't drink coffee and I'm tired. Because my life is hard, and I have a lot of kids, and I have a lot of stuff I do, and I homeschool, and I do 2 YouTube channels, and, gonna die if I don't have my caffeine. Caffeine keeps me perky. Yeah, so that's where I find it. Best place to buy Zip Fizz, because it can be pricey, is Sam's Club or Costco, I think. Sam's Club. They have you can get a big case of it for $1 a piece. Which isn't too bad, because, a Bang is $2 a piece. And I'm drinking one of these every day. Yeah, I drink one of these every day. So, sometimes your budget has to go into mommy helpers instead of buying something for the kids. And I admit, my mother-in-law buys a lot of it at the gas station. Sorry, mother-in-law. She loves us, though, and she says she'd rather see us spend her money now and watch us enjoy it than just spend it frivolously when she dies. So she lets us spend it frivolously occasionally now so that she can enjoy watching us do that. It's strange. But yeah, I don't know about England. I don't know about UK if there's Bang over there. I don't know. Kanab? Probably. Check your Walmart. Check your Chevron. Chevron especially. They had it first. I did look in the Chevron. Oh, it wasn't a Chevron. No. The gas station in Alabama didn't have it. What was it? It was a common one. Help me out, Karen. What was that gas station called? But they didn't have it. So that's... Oh, Winco has it. That's even better. Winco. We have Winco around here, too. Sometimes Winco also has this other one. I don't remember the name of it now. They sometimes have really good sales on it, getting big amounts, though. Okay. I don't go to Winco very much. I should. Probably buy stuff at Winco. I don't know. I just don't think to go there, because Walmart, there's like... Okay, you guys, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Walmarts within a 30 miles or 30-minute drive of me, and one of which is 5 minutes away, and it's a super Walmart. So they get my business. And a lot of people are anti-Walmart, but I love Walmart. I don't know, there's just a lot of things I really love about Walmart. I love the greeters at Walmart. Can I just say I love the greeters at Walmart? And some of them really do an awesome job. There's this woman that works at our Walmart. It makes me happy every time I see her. And I sit and have a little convo with her and ask her how she's doing, because she's so happy. And she makes me happy whenever I walk in the door. And I think it's so great that they hire people to sit at the door and smile at people. I love that. Love that. Oh, good question. Isn't potassium, magnesium, and iron lost more in females due to monthly cycle? Good chance, yes, because it seems to me like I have to have a lot more of it when I'm on my cycle. So there's a good chance of that. I do not know. I don't know the actual science of that. But basically, electrolytes are a crapshoot, and you may think you have it down, and then tomorrow you feel like crap again. And it's the most frustrating part about keto. My sister, she's in maintenance, and she says it's the hardest part because you can't neglect it, and you have to make sure you get it right, and it's hard to get it right, and sometimes you think you have it right, and then next day it doesn't work, and it feels really stressful. So that is the hardest part to me about keto for lifetime, is that you're always going to have to worry about keeping your electrolytes in balance as much as possible. Oh, great. Karen, you just killed me with that one. You found out Dr. Berg was a contributor to Scientology? Fantastic. Another nail in his coffin. I don't subscribe to him, so that's probably why I don't know a lot about what he says. People ask me questions about him all the time, like I think he's the god of keto, and I absolutely do not. I listen to Dr. Finney. I read every blog post that he puts out. And that's the info I get from, because he's really, really brilliant. And Dr. Berg is not a doctor. He is a chiropractor, and he does know a lot about natural health issues. But he is not an actual doctor, and it drives me nuts that he calls himself Dr. Berg. There you go. Right there. Also, Dr. Finney and Volek have studied and researched and actually eaten keto for 20 plus years. They have actual life experience. They have scientific studies that are published. You can go and read them. It's available to the public. It's on his website, www.virtahealth.com. That's VIRTAHEALTH.com. I should become their spokesperson, don't you think? I love them. And he has a huge science panel now. He has many people on his panel, and some of the ladies on that panel are rocking awesome. Just saying. They are the super coolest people ever. And they also will personally guide you. They don't do macros, though, like I do, just so you know. They don't really support the macro theory. And I think basically the reason why is because it's too hard to get it to be like perfect for each person. And really in reality, they just recommend eating 1.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram, and then fat to satiety, and you lose weight that way. They work mostly with type 2 diabetics. The problem I find with fat to satiety, especially if you're not doing the higher protein, is that you can just eat a lot of dang fat before you feel satiated when you're a food addict and a binger. I can eat a whole bag of pork skins and feel like I could still eat another bag of pork skins. I don't think I could ever stop eating just because I feel satiated. There have been times where I felt that I could do that, but I know now that I've been eating the higher fat that I cannot. I don't really have control. If the macros weren't there, I don't think they'd keep me in control. But to warn you, Dr. Finney does not necessarily support the macros approach to eating. But I think that's because the macros, he sets personal macros for each person, you know? I don't know. But if you want to pay him, he will personally mentor you in how to do this. So he does have a whole system in place for that, a whole group of people. All right. Hi, Vilmari. Is that how you say it? Vilmari? Sally Krupp. Where are you from? That is a cool name. Sounds kind of like Indian, maybe. My daughter is from India, so I love Indian people. Did you guys know that I have a daughter from India? I do. If anyone wondered, that's where my daughter was born. My beautiful 17-year-old daughter. We adopted her when she was 3. Okay. Okay. Dr. Holleberg. Oh, yes. I love her. Sorry, I was like, wait a minute. I don't know her name. Yes. I need to know that I need to get the girls' names down so that I can recommend them. And I think they should all have a YouTube channel. Why don't they have a YouTube channel? They should have a YouTube channel. Drives me crazy that they don't have one. Yeah. Hey, Kathy, you're here. Good to see you. I love Indian food too. I actually went to an Indian restaurant recently because I crave it really bad, and I really wanted to take my daughter there because it's like our tradition to take my daughter to Indian food on the day we met her, which is her birthday, or the day we officially adopted her, which is February 15th. And yeah, Jasper's around. I know. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't dare to go on February 15th, and I made someone else take her last year on her birthday. And so I decided I was just going to take her and I was going to try. So I ended up getting basically the chicken tikka, which is the yogurt marinated chicken on vegetables, and a little bit of the paneer masala, which didn't have any added, that I was aware. Sometimes that they do chickpea flour in there, but I figured I wouldn't eat a ton of it, and I would, you know, just have it because I really love that Indian cheese. So I went ahead and had that when I went to an Indian restaurant, and it worked out. And so I thought, well, I can still eat Indian food, which is really, really nice. Dr. Sarah Hallberg, she's in lots of videos lately. I don't think I know who she is. I'm looking her up now. I'm going to look her up, Karen, because anybody that makes me happy that I can share with other people is helpful. Because sometimes I feel like I'm just telling people stuff and they're like, what does she know? She's not a doctor. Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a mom. I'm a mom. But I know this works, and so I like telling people how to do it. Okay, that's what I thought. She works with Dr. Finney. So, does she have a YouTube channel? Or a Dr. Mom? Don't call me that. I'm not a doctor. Oh my gosh, that's my cough again. Yeah, I'll have to look up her videos. I honestly, I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now. I just don't have a lot of time to do research on lots of stuff. So people ask me questions and I'm like, I have no idea and I don't have time to find out, which makes me feel bad because I like being the one with the answers. When people ask me a question, I like to know the answers. But yeah, we've had a ton going on the last while, I'll tell you what. And it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better. Okay, I will check out Dr. Hallberg. I like to boss people around too, right? I mean, who doesn't love that? Yeah, I mean, when it comes to marriage, one of you has to be the alpha, and my husband is just the sweetest, kindest, gentlest little guy, and he lets me do what I want. Yeah. All right. Well, girls and guy, I think there's only one guy here. We have got to be done with this because I don't know what time it is, but I'm guessing it's like 1:30. And I haven't eaten anything yet, and I need to go make my first meal and see if my kids are dead. I don't think they are. Normally I have more kids keeping an eye on Jasper. Who knows? Maybe he's painted himself with makeup again. I guess we'll find out. All right. I love you all so much. If you made it this far and you're not here on the live, let's see what should we put in the comments? The bacon emoji or a kissy face? One or the other. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. I love ya. I'll talk to y'all again soon.